हेलो टीचर्स, ट्रिक्स चैनल में आप सभी का स्वागत है। सबसे पहले हमारे इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। सब्सक्राइब करने के बाद बेल आइकन को क्लिक करना ना भूलें। दोस्तों, अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी शेयर करें और उन्हें भी सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए कहें ताकि वह भी हमारे इस वीडियो एवं चैनल से लाभ उठा सकें। दोस्तों, आज मैं इस वीडियो के माध्यम से आपको NIS के d.el.ed कोर्स कोड 512 वर्कशॉप बेस्ड एक्टिविटीज़ का लास्ट टॉपिक 512 का 6 पार्टिसिपेशन और प्रोसेस एवोल्यूशन को मैं इस वीडियो में बता रहा हूँ। सबसे पहले देखिए, अपना फॉर्मेट में अपना नाम दीजिए, अपना एनरोलमेंट नंबर दीजिए और अपना स्कूल का नाम दीजिए। इसके बाद देखिए, आइए एवोल्यूशन प्रोसेस देखते हैं। एवोल्यूशन इज ए प्रोसेस दैट क्रिटिकली एग्जामिन अ प्रोग्राम। इट इन्वॉल्व्स कलेक्टिंग एंड एनालाइजिंग information about a program's activities, characteristics and outcomes. Its purpose is to make judgment about a program to improve its effectiveness and or to inform programming decisions. Steps of evaluation process. There are 6 steps of program evaluation. These 6 steps can be help put your organization on the right path for continuous quality improvement. Step 1. Define your stakeholder. Your stakeholder are supporters, implementers, recipients and decision makers related to your program. Getting them involved early on will help you get different perspective on the program and establish common expectation. This helps to clarify goals and objectives of the programs you will evaluate so everyone understands its purpose. Second topics, describe the program. Taking the time to articulate what your program does and what you want to accomplish is essential to establishing your evaluation plan. Your description should answer questions like, what is the goal of our program? Which activities will you pursue to reach our goal? How will we do it? What are our resources? How many people do we expect to serve? Articulating the answers to those questions will not only help with accountability and quality improvement, but it will also help you promote the program to its beneficiaries. Third steps, focus the design of your evaluations. Evaluations can focus on process, means, resource, activities and outputs. They can focus on outcomes or how well you achieve your goal. You may also choose to evaluate both process and outcomes. As you begin formulating your evaluations, think about the specific purpose of the evaluation. What questions are you trying to answer? How will the information be used? What information gathering methods are best suited for collecting what our organization needs to know? Next, gather evidence. Qualitative and quantitative data are the two main forms of data you may collect. Qualitative data offers descriptions, information that may capture experience, behavior, opinion, value, feeling, knowledge, sensory response or observable phenomena. 3 commonly used methods used for gathering qualitative evaluation data are key information interviews, focus groups and participant observation. Next step, draw a conclusion. This is the step where you answer the bottom line questions. Are you getting better, getting worse or staying the same? Data comparisons show trends, gaps, strength, weaknesses. You can compare evaluation data with target sets for the program against a standard established by your stakeholder or funders to make comparisons with other programs. In the last steps, the present funding and ensure use. It is important that all the works you put into programs evaluation get used for quality improvements. When you present your finding and recommendations, it is important to know the values, beliefs and perceptions of your groups, but on the group's background and build on common grounds and state the underlying for your recommendation before you get to the details. Principles of next topic is principles of evaluation. इसके बाद देखिए प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एवोल्यूशन. एवोल्यूशन इज ए सिस्टमेटिक प्रोसेस ऑफ डिटर्मिनेशन टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैज बीन अचीव्ड. Therefore, evaluation process must be carried out effective techniques. The following principles will help to make the evaluation process an effective one. Number one, it must be clearly stated what is to be evaluated. A teacher must be clear about the purpose of evaluation. He must formulate the instructional objective and define them clearly in terms of student observer behaviors. Before selecting the achievement measures, the intended learning outcomes must be specified clearly. Second, a variety of evaluation techniques should be used for comprehensive evaluations. It is not possible to evaluate all the aspects of achievement with the help of single techniques. For the better evaluation, the techniques like objective test, easy test, the techniques like objective test, SS test, observational techniques, etc. should be used so that a complete picture of the pupil achievement and development can be assessed. Third, an evaluator should know the limitation of different evaluation techniques. Evaluation can be done with the help of simple observation or a highly developed standardized test, but whatever the instrument or techniques may be, it has its own limitation. There may be measurement errors. Sampling errors is a common factor in educational and psychological measurement. An achievement test may not include the whole course content. Error in measurement can also be found due to student guessing on objective test. Error is also found due to incorrect interpretation of test scores. Next, for number, the techniques of evaluation must be appropriate for the characteristics of performance to be measured. Every evaluation technique is appropriate for some users and inappropriate for another. Therefore, while selecting an evaluation techniques, one must be well aware of the strength and limitation of the techniques. Next, देखिए evaluation is means to an end but not an in itself. The evaluation techniques is used to take decisions about the learners. It is not merely gathering data about the learners, because blind collection of data is wastage of both time and effort. But the evaluation is meant for some useful purpose. Next point, the classification of tools and techniques of evaluation. Different types of testing. There are 4 types of testing in school today: diagnostic, formative, benchmark, and the summative. What purpose does each serve? How should parents use them and interpret the feedback from them? Next, first देखिए diagnostic test. This test is used to diagnose what a student knows and does not know. Diagnostic testing typically happens at the start of new phase of education, like when students will start learning a new unit. The test covers topic students will be taught in the upcoming lessons. Teachers use diagnostic testing information to guide what and how they teach. For example, they will plan to spend more time on the skills that students struggle with most on the diagnostic test. If the student did particularly well on a given section, on the other hand, they may cover that content more quickly in class. Students are not expected to have mastered all the information in a diagnostic test. Next, the formative test. This type of test is used to gauge student learning during the lesson. It is used throughout our lecture and designed to give students an opportunity to demonstrate that they have understand the material, like in the example of the clock activities mentioned above. This informal low stakes testing happens in an ongoing manner, and students' performance on formative testing tends to get better as a lesson progresses. School normally do not send some reports on formative testing, but it is an important part of teaching and learning. If you help your children with their homework, you are likely using a version of formative testing as you work together. For example, while watching my son measure object using inches and centimeters this week, I was able to see when he chose the wrong unit or when he did not start the measurement at the 0 point on the tape measures. That was a form of formative testing. I find it helpful as a parent because it lets me correct my mistakes before they become habits for my sons. Benchmark testing. This testing is used to check whether the students have mastered a unit of content. Benchmark testing is given during or after a classroom focused on a section of materials and covers either a part or all of the content has been taught up that time. The assessments are designed to let teachers know whether students have understood the materials that have been covered. Unlike diagnostic tests, students are expected to have mastered materials on benchmark tests since they cover what the children have been focused on in the classroom. Parents will often receive feedback about how their children have grasped each skill assessed on a benchmark test. This feedback is very important to me as a parent since it gives me insight into exactly which concept my boys did not master. Results are broken down by skills. So if I want to further review a topic with my boys, I can find corresponding lessons, videos or games unlike or ask their teachers for resources. And lastly, the summative testing. This testing is used as a checkpoint at the end of the year or course to assess how much content a student learned overall. This type of testing is similar to benchmark testing, but instead of only covering one unit, it cumulatively covers everything students have been spent time on throughout the year. These tests are given using the same process to all students in the classroom, schools or state, so that everyone has an equal opportunity to demonstrate what they know and what they can do. Students are expected to demonstrate their ability to perform at a level prescribed as the proficiency standard for the test. Since summative tests cover the full range of concept for a given grade level, they are not able to assess any one concept deeply. So the feedback is not nearly as rich as or constructive as feedback from a diagnostic or formative test. Instead, these tests serve as a final check that a student learned what was expected of them in a given unit. As a parent, I considered summative testing confirmation about what I should already know about my son's performance. I don't expect to be surprised by the result given the regular feedback I have been given in the form of diagnostic, formative and benchmark testing throughout the year. Next part is the topic rating scale. A rating scale is a set of categories designed to elicit information about a qualitative or quantitative attribute. A rating scale is a method that requires the rater to assign a value, sometimes numeric, to the rated object as a measure of some rated attribute. Types of rating scales are all rating scales can be classified into one or two of three types: numeric rating scale, graphic rating scale and descriptive graphic rating scale. Some data are measured at the ordinal level. Numbers indicate the relative positions of items, but not the magnitude of differences. Attitude and opinions scales are usually ordinal. And the next point is the continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Continuous and comprehensive evaluation was a process of assessment mandated by the Right of Education Act of India. This approach to assessment has been introduced by state government in India as well as by the Central Board of Secondary Education in India for students of 6th to 10th grades and 12th in some schools. From this, the smaller classes student can have practice to face the exam of board in younger age. The Karnataka government has introduced CCA for grades 1 through 9. Later, it was also introduced for 12th grade student. The main aim of CCA is to evaluate every aspect of the child during their presence at the school. This is believed to help reduce the pressure on the child during or before examination, as the student will have to sit for multiple tests throughout the year, of which no test or the syllabus cover will be repeated at the end of the year whatsoever. The CCE method is claimed to bring enormous changes from the traditional chalk and chalk method of teaching, provided it is implemented accurately. In 2017, the CCA system was cancelled for students appearing in the class 10th board exam for 2017 to 18, bringing back compulsory annual board exam and removing the formative and summative assessment under the remodeled assessment pattern. As a part of this new system, student marks will be replaced by grades, which will be evaluated through a series of curricular and extracurricular evaluation along with the academics. The aim is to decrease to workload on the students by means of continuous evaluations by taking number of small tests throughout the year in place of single test at the end of the academic program. Only grades are awarded to students based on works, experience, skills, dexterity, innovation, steadiness, teamwork, public speaking, behavior, etc. to evaluate the present and overall measure of the student's ability. This helps the students who are not good in academic to show their talent in other fields such as art, humanities, sports, music, athletics, and also helps to motivate the students who have thirst of knowledge. Next topic, the importance of continuous and comprehensive evaluation in the teaching learning field. Continuous and comprehensive evaluation is very essential to understand the learning potential of the child. We can't judge a child by 1 or 2 tests he or she appear for in any area. Child may not be good in one field and can be excellent in another one. So this type of evaluation helps those kids to gain good grades and gain more confidence. The teacher also get an idea about that particular child, how good he in which area, and she can polish that child as per his potential. Need of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Continuous and comprehensive evaluation is intended to provide a holistic profile of the learner throughout assessment of both scholastic and non-scholastic aspects of education, spreads over the total span of instructional time in schools. It helps to identify those positive attributes of the learner which are not usually assessed during the examination conducted by the board, as it is spread over a period of 2 years in class 9 and 10. It provides several opportunities for the school to identify the latent talent of the learners in different contexts. This document is supported to the statement of marks issued by the board after the examination conducted by it. Essential aspect of the continuous and comprehensive evaluations. Number 1, to provide a holistic profile of the learner through assessment of both scholastic and non-scholastic aspect of education, to identify the latent talent of the learners in different contexts, to identify strategies for raising student achievement, to plan a comprehensive evaluation program to improve schools, to suggest suitable tools and techniques for achieving continuous comprehensive evaluation, use evaluation for continuous school improvement, using evaluation as a tool for continuous improvement of the school and the student. And the last, to suggest ways of strategies of sensitizing school administrator, parents and the community about CCA or continuous and comprehensive evaluations. तो दोस्तों इस प्रकार रहे 512 का जो लास्ट पार्ट पार्टिसिपेशन ऑन प्रोसेस इवोल्यूशन, ये रहा 512 का वर्कशॉप एक्टिविटी का लास्ट टॉपिक। और इसके बाद 512 के सारे हमने टॉपिक्स को वीडियो में बनाकर अपलोड कर दिया। दोस्तों बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे इस वीडियो को देखने के लिए। दोस्तों लाइक करें, कमेंट करें और अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी शेयर करें और उन्हें भी सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए कहें।